Hello, children, how are you? Now, Ekanjali, I will teach you today social science, economics. Economics, first unit, development. The process of growth or progress of a person or a nation or in a particular field is called development. They'll ask you a question, what is development? That means you can write like this. Development means it is not restricted to any area, any person, general. The economic development refers to increase in a country's capacity to serve the economic interests of its citizens and overcoming economic problems such as poverty, unemployment, inequality, inflation, etc. This is economic development. Now only development, if they ask you, you can write, now I say that answer. The process of growth or progress of a person, nation or in a particular field is called development. Next, the term underdevelopment also is there. What do you mean by the term underdevelopment? The term underdevelopment refers to that state of an economy where levels of living of masses are extremely low due to very low levels of per capita income. Per capita income means individual income. Every individual income also is very, very important. All individuals will not get equal or same or uniform income. It differs from person to person. But whatever income they will get, that is called per capita income. According to United Nations, an underdeveloped country is one whose real per capita income is lower than that of developed countries like USA, Australia and Western Europe. One more thing, children. In the world, countries are divided into three groups: developed countries, developing countries and underdeveloped countries. Developed country means what? Now, which country is equipped with all literacy, industry, agriculture and less population and good climate condition and skill of the people, everything counts. That is the developed. Example I told you now, USA, Australia, Western Europe and so many countries are all developed countries. Now, developing means still they are in the state of development. They are proceeding. Now, which are the countries? India is developing country. Why? In India also we have got enormous natural resources, industries, minerals we are getting, all resources are available. Why India is lagging behind to USA, Australia and other countries? Because of the overpopulation. So, because due to this overpopulation, India is still under the developing stage. Now next, some countries are underdeveloped. That means the per capita income is low, agriculture is backward, illiteracy is there, unemployment problem, and agriculture yield will be low, industry will be less, and application of science and technology will be lagging, and population will be exceeding the size of the country. So that those countries are all called underdeveloped countries. Some part of the African countries, you take Pakistan, Afghanistan, Ceylon, Myanmar and some Arabian countries and some South American countries, few I'm telling, South America only few, very few countries, they are all underdeveloped countries. Now, it causes the stagnant economy, less productivity, low per capita income, high population growth, illiteracy. So, lack of sanitation and medical facility. So, even this is also counts today, children. lack of sanitation and medical facilities. When they lack, no, the whole environment and all polluted. So the underdeveloped countries, no, they will be lacking in everything. So that's why they are all grouped in under the underdeveloped countries. Now next I'll proceed to the HDI. HDI, what do you mean by that HDI? Human Development Index. It is the cumulative measurement of the overall development of the people of a country. The core capabilities of a country's population are defined, measured and combined to derive the composite HDI of a country. It is derived by measuring the basic indicators of Human Development Index. What do you mean by that index? List out if they ask you. They are: number 1, life expectancy. The people of the country, if they are healthy, if the environment is clean, sanitation, medication, not meditation, medication, medical facilities are all very good, means life expectancy will be more. Second, educational achievements. Education is very, very important for all the countries. If education is very good, both, that is the skilled, verbal and non-verbal and the skill, this all counts, children. And science and technology also comes under education. So these all achievements should be there. Third, standard of living. Average of these 3 indicators are called HDI. I'll repeat. Now, Human Development Index, under this number 1 is, the 3 major portions are life expectancy, second, educational achievements, and third, standard of living. Average of all these 3 indicators is called HDI. Now, next, let us learn more about the causes for the low HDI of India. Now let us talk about India. Why India is lagging behind in HDI? Number 1 reason is low per capita income. Due to overpopulation and unemployment problems, India's per capita income is very low. I'll repeat. Due to overpopulation and unemployment problems, India per capita income is very low. Secondly, high population growth. Population of India is increasing at an alarming rate also. Third, illiteracy. Rural folk and women are devoid of educational opportunities and remain illiterate. Fourth, high infant mortality rate. Lack of nutritious food and proper health care has resulted in high infant mortality rate. Fifth one, gender discrimination. Women, especially rural folk, are devoid of educational and development opportunities. Girls are not allowed to join schools and are restricted to domestic too. Sixth and lastly, lack of sanitation and medical facilities. Poor people are unable to afford proper medical care. They also lack sanitation facilities. All these factors are responsible for the low HDI of India. Now, let us move to the other important aspects, that is gender-related development in India. Gender means what? Man or women, girl or boy. The role of women in the developmental process is very significant. Women, who form half of the population, have the capacity or capability to work in all the fields of the economic system. It is the duty of civilized society to provide social, economic educational and political equality to women. After independence, our constitution has assured equality of freedom and opportunities to both men and women. However, significant types of discrimination can still be seen and violence against women is frequently reported. This only suggests that women are not yet given equality in all the spheres, making them secondary partners in economic growth. I'm not talking about the family of children, economic growth level, economic development level, I'm talking about the gender. Gender discrimination may be seen in various dimensions of Indian society, economy and polity. Sex ratio, the number of females for every 1000 males, is the most important indicator which reveals the treatment meted out to women in a society. In India, because of all-round discrimination against females and preference for male child, the sex ratio was barely 9:45:2 in 2011. It means what? The ratio of male is 1000 males. The ratio of women is 945 according to the census of 2011. Now next census will take place in the year 2021. What is worse? It is still lower in child. Similarly, the literacy rate among women was 65.46% in 2011 compared to 82.14% among men. See the difference between the ratio of education between men and women. This is so because even today some people think women do not need education, and in some places adequate schooling facilities may not be available. If you look at the workplace, I am talking about the working place children, women mainly work in unorganized activities, that is in the agricultural field, construction, small scale industries, etc., at lower wages than the men. It is also true that the women are not free to spend the income that they earn. With a low education, not many of them are seen in better and highly paid position. In many households, women eat last after the head and children have had food. This makes her malnutrition and susceptible to many illness. With no nutrition but compelled to doing heavy work makes her to fall sick often, which is usually ignored by the men folk. Especially the health of pregnant women is very crucial because it affects the baby health also. India has very high rates of maternal, that means mothers dying during or after child delivery. Infant, that is children below 1 year, and child children below 5 years. The rate will increase, and it is practice of detecting the gender of the fetus and destroying it if found to be a female one. I'll stop here. Over. 14. Now children, let us learn how to achieve gender equality. So far you have learned gender related development and their problems and all you have learned. That is, development will come later. First problems you have learned. Now how to achieve gender equality. Now the role of women in the development process is very significant. You learn women who form half of the population have the capability to work in all the fields of the economic system. Women also is very, very important for the economic growth of the country, you learned. Now, there is one question, how to achieve gender equality in India? Number 3, gender equality can be achieved by providing social, economic, educational and political equality to women. I'll repeat. Gender equality can be achieved by providing social, economic, educational and political equality to women. Number 1. Women should have access to resources. This enhances individual capacity and power of decision making. Second, women, especially rural folk, in the rural area means village, should be educated properly so that they can oppose violence against them at home and at workplaces. Third, women should be provided with equal employment opportunities and equal wages. Today government has done a lot to women to get equal employment and equal opportunities. Fourth, equal representation should be given to women in political organization. Today you see women is participating in election, women is appointed in all the departments and even village panchayat also reservation is there. Out of 15, 5 seats are reserved for women. Okay, women only should come to take that place. Fifth one, strict implementation of right to get equal share in ancestral property. In olden days, the property of the parent was going only to the given to the sons. Today, government has brought strict rule that even women also or daughters also get equal rights to the property. Sixth one, strict measures to be undertaken to prevent female infanticide. No one should kill the female child, newborn child. Women is very important, girls are very, very important. Already the ratio has gone down, 1000 to 945. Male ratio is more compared to female. So in future what will happen if the female ratio goes down? Then what will happen? The world, imagine, you only will get answer. Seventh, proper health care facilities should be provided to pregnant women and newly born children. If a child born healthily means it will become a healthy citizen and it will work for the progress of the family and country and itself also. So, pregnant women will be given much care when the government is providing all the facility today in government hospital, corporation hospitals and all. They are giving much free care to the women, pregnant women and newborn child also. Free medication is given. Now, there will be one question. How come the women self-help groups are there? Women has formed in the rural areas self-help groups. That means women only will form organization and whatever they have got capabilities, they'll put effort and government also financing them, especially in the rural areas, they are coming up. Women self-help groups formed according to their socio-economic status and felt needs and help women in distress. These groups later will network with other groups and work for women upliftment. They are indulged in income generating activities. Now example I'll give you children in the rural areas, basket making, pickle making, hapla, then the perfume stick, in Kannada they say udbati, and toy making, all women, they are capable of doing all the work. So women have formed their own group and then they are making all that honey packing also and beedi packing also. That is, leaf is there, in that they'll fill the tobacco and then tie it. So these are so many works women can do, the rural women I'm telling you, they can do and then they can live on their own income. So various income activities are today generating for the rural women. This boosts the confidence of women and helps them to save themselves from exploitation. An economically poor individual gains strength as part of a group. This helps them to increase autonomy and live with dignity. So like this, by this, now my teaching economics development chapter is getting over. I'll ask you a few questions, children. Number 1, what factors affect economic development? Second, what are the 4 economic questions? Third, what are the 3 fundamental questions of economics? Fourth, what are the main indicators of economic development? Fifth, what are the social factors affecting development? Now next 5th one also I'll ask you extra. That is, now examine the causes for the low HDI of India. Last one, how to achieve gender equality. One more I'll ask you, children. Women self-help groups are supportive to women empowerment, justified. Such questions will be asked in the examination. So you should be thorough in that. Once you read the textbook, then you will come to know and you will understand, children. I hope all of you understood my teaching, the development. This is a simple chapter and easy chapter also. So I'll wind up. And then next class I'll meet you with a new interesting chapter of economics. Until then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.